guys, it's me Jacob, shooting shit with Jacob today, and we got Marko here.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Pretty good, you?
Good, long time no see.
Yeah.
So, I know Marko personally, we've been known for a long time. We even shared a stage this year here in Sudbury. So obviously I know him for a while. So can you tell a little bit about the journey into bodybuilding? What got you started?
What got me started into bodybuilding? Well, I wasn't a bodybuilder in the beginning. I didn't like to consider myself a bodybuilder. But what got me into working out was, I guess like grade 10 or 11 in high school. I felt pretty insecure about myself. I wasn't getting the attention I wanted from people. Maybe that's the wrong reason for why I got into it, but I wanted to get girls. I felt like I stood out from people because like I wasn't really into all the sports everyone else plays. I wasn't really into like, I wasn't really known. I was kind of like the kid on the side. I was funny, but like everyone kind of just pushed me to the side. I didn't like feeling like that. I wanted to feel known. I wanted to like feel a presence, right? So I started working out. That happened around 15, 16, like I said. I was like very, very skinny. I was probably the skinniest kid in high school. I was 130 pounds when I started working out. And about a year or two passed by. Fast forward to like, I guess the end of high school. I got a lot bigger than most of the kids my age. And then after that, I finally got the attention I thought I wanted. And from that, it just kind of, the years passed. I kept up with working out. I got into university. While I was in university, I just kept training, kept trying to like eat good. At the time, I wasn't really as into it as I am now. And then I guess the year before COVID hit was when I actually said I'm going to get into bodybuilding. So that was my last year in university. So what I did was I would pack at the time it was maybe 4 or 5 meals a day. I would get my meals ready. I would bring them to school. I would eat them every day. I didn't miss a meal. So for that whole year, I didn't party, I didn't drink. I did a lot of that before those years. I didn't drink any alcohol a year. I went to school. All I did was train, eat, sleep. That's it. And that year I made a lot of progress. Then I said, okay, like this is what I want to do. I can see myself doing this. I saw the potential in me. I didn't really see a lot of potential, but I did see some. And then COVID hit. I kind of was like, setback, here we go. Once that kind of fizzled out of it, it was about a year and a bit till people started working out again or whatever. I got back into it again, got really serious, started eating. Then I went to like the 6 meals a day and I got really serious with everything, supplementation, eating, sleeping. A few years passed and I've always wanted to compete. I just wanted to compete when I felt ready. It wasn't until this past year when I said, listen, I'm dropping the hammer, I'm going to do a show. Enough's enough. Like I've said, for a few years I was saying I'm going to compete, and I never did because I didn't feel ready. And finally last year I said I'm doing it regardless of how I think I'm going to look. I think I put on enough muscle in the last few years where I'm ready for this. And so and then now here we are. I've done 2 shows only, but
2 shows though.
Yeah, I think
that was a pretty big show.
Yeah,
I was there. I saw the lineup. We had pretty big people from South and pretty much all around. So it was a big show though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't win, so I wasn't as happy as I maybe could have been. But I was happy with the package I looked for the first show and the second because I did learn a lot. And for people who don't know, I did coach myself, so I did learn a lot about peaking for a show and what works for my body, what doesn't. So it was all around. It was a really fun experience. And actually, my prep I did in Europe. I don't know if you want to get into that now, but I prepped myself in Bosnia, in Herzegovina. Sorry, I gotta correct that. I did like 6 months stint there. I lived there for like 6 months, and got ready for the Sudbury show. And then after Sudbury show, I went to Toronto.
Oh, great! So your first show was Sudbury, right?
Yeah.
Great. So what was the preparation like for the last show which you did, like the Nationals?
Well, the Nationals wasn't a big difference for Sudbury, how it started, because I got into Sudbury was first and 2 weeks later I did Toronto. Getting ready for Sudbury, what I did was, first of all, I was really strict up until November before I left to Croatia, Herzegovina, wherever. I don't know how, people over there are going to say you should say Herzegovina, somebody Herzegovina. Because, anyways, I'm not going to get political right now. But, so what I did was up until November, I was bulking really hard, eating my 6 meals a day. I was all in on everything. Then when I got there at the end of November, I believe, I said, okay, I'm gonna take a little break. I'm not gonna train as much. I'm gonna eat like a normal human being. Just to kind of give myself a reason to be extra motivated when I start prep. So in December, I ate with family dinners. I have family dinners all the time. I ate out every day, restaurant here and there. It's cheaper there, so it's cheaper to go to a restaurant every night. Cheaper than here. I was eating a lot of sugary pastries, things I never really eat, just to get out of my system. And then when January hit, I said, okay, I think it was the second week of January, I started prep. I said, enough's enough. It's game time now. So at the time, even I was like vaping, whatever, like those, those vapes, the nicotine vapes. I said, I'm not going to touch any of this stuff. I'm going to go all in on this. January 15th, when I started prep, took my first progress pic in a while, like true check-in. Actually, that was probably the first check-in I've ever taken in like a long time. I don't really do check-ins. And I was like, hey, I did a check-in. I looked at myself. I was very embarrassed by how I looked, but I said, this is the start. I'm going to make this look like shit in whatever, 4 months or 5 months. Yeah. So yeah, when prep started that January 15th, how you want to ask?
So what was the biggest challenge which you faced during your prep for the show?
I'll be honest, there wasn't one other than people getting in my head. I gotta be honest, I really enjoyed it. I like being on schedule. I like being on like a routine. I really like not having to overeat also. A lot of people think like eating in a surplus is easy. Oh, I love eating, I love food, I want to eat all the time. But for us, you know how it is. Trying to gain muscle is harder than people think. When you get to a certain level, it just gets harder and harder and harder to put on muscle. You have to eat more, train. It's a little more complex than that. But
at some point.
Yeah, you almost hate it. You do hate it. I actually hate overeating, meaning like trying to get bigger. Right now, I can't stand it. But I like dieting because I look better, I feel better, and I don't mind being a little hungry. Some people like don't like that. Luckily, I don't have any cravings. I'm not like a sugar person. I'm not like a sweets person. I don't care for that at all. So to be honest, in terms of like how hard was prep, a lot of people say your first one's really hard. Mine was honestly a lot of fun and really easy. One, I did it myself, so I eat the foods I wanted to eat. And two, yeah, the only thing that bothered me was letting opinions of others get in my head. And towards the end, not having as much confidence as I should have in myself and my abilities and what I could have shown on stage. That's going for Sudbury show. Toronto, I did much better.
So, bodybuilding and doing a show, everyone thinks it's all physical, but we both know it's a lot mental too. So how did you prepare yourself mentally for the show? How did you cope with that?
Good question. Honestly, it is very mental, and that's why I found it very easy, because I usually am someone who, if something's hard, I'm going to purposely make myself do it and like it or get good at it. So if I suck at something, I do this all the time. If I'm really bad at something, I'm going to purposely do it now, because I don't want to be someone who sucks at something. I want to be good at the things I'm not good at, because that's what makes me better. If I'm already good at only things I'm good at, I'm never going to get better.
Makes sense.
I'm about progression. And that was my last year was about progression and application. That was my kind of goal for the year, was to progress and apply what I know. To progress in what I'm doing and apply what I know. So everything I did was, if I don't like it, I'm going to now change my mindset to I like it. If you know what I mean? So that was my mindset going into it. And years before that, I've always had to stuff my face going into trying to get bigger. I was just honestly happy I didn't have to do that. I was actually sitting there for 5 minutes eating a meal, not for 20 minutes or half an hour. Before I even got here, my meal took me 25 minutes to eat, because it's just so big. Whereas I don't want to sit there for 20 minutes eating when I want to go do stuff in life, right? So that's where I sort of mentally prepared myself on before that. And that's why I gave myself that 1 month of total leeway eating what I wanted, so that when I got into it, I had everything out of my system. I just wanted to look awesome. So that was my goal. I didn't have maybe the wrong person asked for that. I didn't really have,
No, that's great. So let's say 4 weeks out to a show. For me personally, I feel having self-doubts. I feel burnout.
Yeah.
How did you cope with? Did you feel anything like that, or if you felt, how did you cope with that?
Honestly, I didn't have the burnout feeling, because I was so happy with how I looked.
That makes sense.
And I was so happy with the progress I made. It kind of overtook the feeling of feeling fatigued, because I was fatigued, but it didn't bother me, because I knew, hearing from so many people's stories of doing a prep, that's part of the process. So when I felt flat, when I felt fatigued, I was like, I'm doing something right. And that didn't make me get discouraged. That made me more encouraged to keep going, because I was like, everyone says they feel flat during a prep. Everyone says their pumps are worse, their energy's down. When I was getting that and I was looking better, I was like, I'm on track. I've got nothing to lose. So I'm getting the results I want. So that was my sort of mindset when it came to that.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So during your peak week, we all do carb loading. You all have small tricks and tips. You use them. How did you feel on your peak week? How was your nutrition like?
Going into peak week, basically from the beginning of prep to about a week out, whatever it was, 9 days out. I think it was 9 days out. I started my peak week. Going into peak week, I had an idea of what I wanted to weigh. I had an idea of what weight would make me look really good. It was a sort of a lucky guess, and also based on like previous years of doing my own little mock cuts of where I think I would look good based on the progress I made. I was reducing my food based on how much weight I was dropping and how I was looking week to week. And when it came to like 2 to 3 weeks out, I was kind of already ready. I was actually, I'd say, more ready 2 or 3 weeks out for Sudbury than I was a week out. I depleted myself a little too much. I pushed a little too hard for certain things, so that's where my muscles actually deflated. So my peak was different. A lot of people have to like water manipulate or drop water, increase water just to lose water. If anything, I learned that my body looks pretty good without doing that. So my peak week, what I did was I did 0 carbs. I over depleted. I was already depleted, but I thought depleting more would make me even look better for the show, but it didn't. So I did 0 carbs from the Saturday to the Wednesday morning, week before the show, or Friday or Thursday. I don't know what it was exactly. Friday or Thursday till the Wednesday. I did almost like a full week of 0 carb because I thought I want to just dig harder and get more conditioned. And then Wednesday, I carved up. I had an estimate of what I know my body can handle in terms of carbs, but I didn't know how depleted I was. I didn't really know actually how depleted I was and how much my body can handle because I thought I can eat maybe 400, 500 grams of carbs. I ate 400 carbs by like the midday and I was still like very flat. I wasn't filling out. By the end of the night, I had 7 meals. I think the first day was 800 carbs on a Wednesday. Wow. I woke up lighter the next day, like 10 pounds lighter. Like I was dropping weight like crazy.
So you're dropping weight?
So like crazy. So my metabolism was way too like sped up like crazy. And my body wasn't really soaking up what I was taking in. So the next day I did about 1,000 carb with more fat to try to like get it to stick to me. And it didn't stick again. So
even with the fat?
Yeah, I added like 20 grams of fat to every meal. And then Friday I did 1,400 carbs with the same amount of fat as Thursday. The only issue is I was backlogged, like loaded. I mean, like constipated, to be honest. That kind of screwed me up because my stomach got a little bloated. I was trying to fill out my muscles I lost, that got depleted in the prep, but it wasn't working. My body was just kind of like excreting it. But when I was eating so many carbs and I reduced my protein, those 3 days of carving up, because when you carve up, you reduce protein a bit because you're not building muscle at that point. At that point, you're going for a look. I felt like my stomach was very bloated, and it ruined my look because my body wasn't soaking up the carbs in the muscles. It was just kind of burning through it and just filling me out here. So for the Sudbury show, I didn't look my best. I still looked good, respectable for my first time doing it myself. But that's how my peak week went. In terms of water, I was drinking 8 liters of water. I was drinking 6 to 7 every day, all prep. I was drinking 8 liters of water those 9 days before the peak week till the Wednesday. The Wednesday I did 6 liters. The Thursday I did like 5. And the Friday I did like 4. So I reduced the water a bit. And then the night before the show, I did a shot of vodka, double shot. Because it's like a natural diuretic. And just kind of relax you and get you to go to bed. That was my kind of plan for Sudbury. I did that and I figured, okay, for Toronto, because I didn't like the way I carved up, I just was too bloated and gassed up. For Toronto, first of all, I cut out cardio completely because my legs took a beating from all the cardio. Didn't touch cardio. I haven't touched cardio since the Sudbury show to this day. Wow. I know it's not the healthiest thing, but I'm going with how my body looks.
But you're still holding on pretty lean.
Yeah, because so we can get into that more. But so for Toronto, what I did was I cut out cardio, and I kind of did what I did 3 weeks before Sudbury. I brought the food to there, and then the peak week, what I did was I loaded the 1,000 carb, now 1,400, with the fats on the Wednesday, and I did 800 on the Thursday. I took what do you call it? Thursday night, I took a what are those things that make you poo? What's it called? You know what I'm talking about? Like a laxative. I took a laxative Thursday night, and it flushed me, but my body actually started soaking it up because I wasn't doing as much. I wasn't doing any cardio, so my body metabolism kind of slowed down a bit. And then Friday night I did like 700 with another laxative because I was like, I don't want to have that distension anymore in the bloating. And then did the double shot of vodka the night before, and then and the water I did the same. I did the 8 liters, 6 liters on Wednesday, 5 Thursday, 4 Friday. And then the Saturday, I looked much better than Sudbury. Yeah.
That's great. So, how do you adjust your training when you get closer to your show? Do you still train with the same volume, same weight, or did you change them up?
Before prep, I would have said I would have kept it the same. But when I got into prep and I was looking at my body, I reduced volume significantly halfway through prep. Because I'm someone who I used to do a lot of volume throughout the week and a lot of volume on just one muscle. I was just burning my muscle out too much. It's almost like a wasted volume, to be honest, like wasted reps, wasted sets. I kind of got a little more focused on like 1 or 2 working sets and exercise, doing 4 exercises, like 1 or 2 working sets for one. And then that helped a lot in terms of like keeping my muscle fuller. So I reduced volume significantly. Even now, actually, I thought I would have increased it by now, but I've kept it pretty low to before. Yeah, I like it like moderate. I don't like it too high.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, because I was also tired. I wanted to reduce volume too, and also my muscle was just getting flatter and flatter. So I figured less volume, but it would keep it a little more volumized.
You also don't want to injure during a program.
Exactly.
Makes sense. So if I'm given an advice to someone stepping on a stage, it would be like, make sure you learn your posing. Like posing is a key thing which I always like push to everyone. What would be your advice to someone who's stepping on stage for the first time?
Posing is huge. I did get help from a guy online. I did like a session or 2 with him, and then one of my good friends, he lives over there. He's an IFBB Elite Pro. He helped me out a pretty good amount too. But like after my workouts, he would check me out, and he would pose in front of him. And he would like tweak my the way I was posing. Posing is a big thing, and even looking back at my Sudbury show, when I saw myself posing, I was like, oh my god, it's bad. Like you all judge yourselves hard, and then I corrected that for Toronto. So posing is huge. I would say posing is huge, and actually getting in condition. I noticed a lot of people lately. This is not to bash them. This is just the truth. They don't look lean at all. No. Like I wasn't really even shredded to what I know I could have probably been, but a lot of people getting on stage now think they're lean and think being lean, you're gonna look okay on stage. There's no being lean on stage. You're either shredded or you're gonna look fat. You're gonna look like shit. And a lot of people I'm noticing recently are just not in shape. Like it's actually like I'd be embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed to get on stage not being somewhat in shape. We're amateurs, so we're not gonna look like the pros, but you still gotta look respectable. If you got some flub, like something's off.
Recently, I saw these shows from Europe. They take conditioning real serious. You're gonna see them like all lean.
They're all shredded. I have a lot of friends over there, and they're all like one thing they all focus on is conditioning. Conditioning is huge over there.
What's the most rewarding aspect regarding competing for you? Like,
rewarding?
Yeah.
A little bit of ego. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest. A little bit of ego. Also, like the amount of years I put in work. I've had a lot of setbacks, a lot of injuries. And I've kind of overcome a lot of them. Every year I've had one. Every year. From like getting my head cut open this year to every year before that having an actual injury or a muscle tear. So finally doing the show and looking respectable in my eyes for what I wanted to look like was kind of rewarding because like I never really gave up. I've seen a lot of people come and go over the years. I've seen a lot of people who looked better than me before me and came in after me and looked better than me but like fell off. So like it felt really rewarding that I finally did it after all these years and haven't given up. So that was really rewarding, I'm not gonna lie. In terms of like placing and winning, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest. I don't care if I win 3rd or 4th or 1st. Even if I was a pro, I have an ultimate goal. Getting there is having fun. I wanna be the best, but wherever I land is where I land. I give it my all, I have fun while doing it. Where I land is where I land, but I wanna be the best. So if I get 3rd, I'm happy. If I get 1st, I'll take a 3rd on the chin. I'll take a 1st just the same as I do a 3rd. If I look good, I'm cool with it.
That's good. So you said you had some injuries while you were working through your prep. How did you cope with everything? Do you have any stress which was building up on you? I know personally how it went. I know it. If you want to share, you could. If you don't have to, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Just something I thought it would be like motivating for a lot of. It was motivating for me, obviously.
You can mention which one, what injury, because I've had a lot of injuries.
It was with your head every time. Like I know during the prep time you have to actually cope with it. And
So
the prep.
I've been dealing with that for 2 years. This head, it's not even an injury. It's like a disease I've contracted. It does affect me to an extent, but I've kind of learned to block it out because like as long as I don't know how to say it, but it doesn't affect me as much because I'll be honest, I've had so many actual injuries years prior where like I've torn my groin, I've torn my quad, and people are gonna now look for these things on my body. I've torn my hamstring, I've torn my right lat, my right tricep, I've torn both pecs, partial or micro tears, but still front delt tear, dislocated my right shoulder. I've had hernia surgery. So that's a lot of big injuries, and that's one a year, every year I've had. So honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just so used to having a setback every year. It just doesn't faze me as much. It's just a little more like annoying, the fact that I have to deal with it all the time. Like it's almost like, what's gonna be this year? What's gonna be this year? It's literally every year like that. Like now that this year's passed, I had this, what's next year? I'm already thinking like, what's gonna be next year? Break a leg. So I'm just so used to it. I'm kind of just like, I try to numb myself and just say, listen, it's another bump in the road, just go over it. Just go over it, just go over it. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally feel that. Even this prep time, thank God I didn't tear a lot. I only had a couple of partial tears and I also had one labrum tear this time. But it was the same mindset, just keep going, just keep going.
Yeah, and work around the injury.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm so used to having to work around so many injuries that I almost find it fun troubleshooting now. In this weird way, like when I tore my pec, I would like find ways to still target my pec without hurting the torn area. Or like if when I have my front delt, okay, well let's just smash side delts or rears and triceps all the time. I'm not gonna press. I couldn't press for a year, like shoulder press, or like I couldn't when I tore my quad. I'm just gonna do hamstrings all the time. You just work around it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's get into some fun personal questions now.
Okay.
So after your show, what would you say your first cheat meal would be? Like, what would you go get yourself? For me, I still remember I just went nuts on like pound cakes. I went for a sushi. I kept on eating till 3 in the morning, and then I kept on going like 45 minutes of cardio next day for 4 times because I was so bloated.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I ate a lot.
So
yeah.
Because even during my prep, I had a lot of high carb days. I would do 1 or 2 a week. And those high carb days were 700 to 1,000 grams of carbs a day. So I was getting fed once a week or twice a week the whole prep. And like I said, like because of that, and I liked my look, I didn't overdo the cheating. Because honestly, some of my carb ups, I do 6 solid meals of like 100 grams of carbs per meal and a 5 Guys burger and a large fry at night for my 7th meal. So I was getting that food during prep too.
Yeah.
So, but when it came to like after Sudbury, I'm not gonna lie, what was it? I did, because I didn't eat pizza all prep, that's food I didn't eat. I did the burgers. I went to,
You went for sushi?
Yeah, I went for sushi because I hadn't had sushi in like 6 months because they didn't have it where I was living over there. So I was like, I wanted to do sushi. So I went for sushi the night of. I did a burger that day too, but burger, I was having them also throughout the end of prep. I went for burger and fries at my boss. What's the truck called? The food truck?
The food truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Sudbury food truck.
Plug him in.
Yeah, Sudbury food truck.
Yeah, it was actually the garlic fries. Yeah, it was good. The smash burger.
The smash burger.
Yeah, so I had 3 smash burgers and 2 fries.
Wow.
The next day, also I had 2 or 3 of my own meals, like turkey rice with veggies, and then I had I don't know, maybe pizza at night. I forget what it was. But then the Monday I was back on plan. This was after Sudbury. So Sudbury the Sunday and the Saturday night, the Sunday, I did that. For Toronto, after my show, what did I do? I had this like ice cream cake.
Oh yeah.
One of my clients, she got it for me, and a burger from Burger Priest, or 2 burgers from Burger Priest and a fry, and I was carving up a lot of food, so I wasn't really craving, and I'm not, like I said, a big craver. And then after that, the Monday, I was honestly just doing like 1,000-gram carb days for like weeks at a time. Yeah. So I was lucky. I don't know. My metabolism was like through the roof. So I was lucky. I didn't even want. I would do like a cheat meal every 3rd day. I didn't overdo it in a sitting. I don't like doing that. I would like look at myself and assess because I was coaching myself. Like, okay, like if I'm like spilling over or getting fat, I would pull back. So on my rebound, I would give myself a cheat when I felt like having a cheat. But if I felt like I was going too hard, I would pull back on the diet, just pull back. And go back down to base and then push back up again. Go back down.
That's what I'm.
That's kind of how I did it. Yeah.
I remember seeing you at the sushi place. I also went for sushi there.
After Sudbury?
Yeah, after Sudbury. Well, Mark from both supplements, he pretty much sponsored me, Nick, everyone for sushi. All the employees went for sushi. Next day I went to food truck. Same thing. I ordered like smash burgers. Yeah. Ordered a pogo. I think I
got a pogo too.
Yeah,
I did get a pogo.
I pretty much ordered every main items that was on the main menu, and I just went nuts for about like a week or so. Like I depleted really down. I remember gaining nearly 30 to 40 pounds in like 4 weeks.
You know what's crazy? I didn't gain a pound I was gaining 1 or 2 pounds, not even a week.
Wow.
Eating what I was eating. I kept staying like lean and no cardio, none. I thought of it. I was like, oh, I should do cardio after my cheat meal, like cheat beef after a cheat meal. I wake up the next day going, I don't need it. I don't need it. And I just stuck with I don't need it. Yeah. So after a while, I was like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I kept thinking, yeah. I'm maybe lucky, but honestly, over the years, I've been pretty strict for a long time. I mean, my body just actually like was just doing better on like being relaxed. I don't know.
So another fun question. Let's say you could have one superpower to help you with training. What would it be? Let's say teleportation, so that you can skip over your traffic. You can just teleport from your home to gym. Like, what would you choose as your superpower to help you with training?
I got one.
Me, I would personally take staying lean year round and just putting on size.
Like regardless, you just want to stay lean.
Stay lean all year round.
Me, it would be X-ray vision.
X-ray vision.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should have chosen that.
So motivation throughout my workout. Because sometimes depending on the gym I go to, there's some fine women there, and X-ray vision would be pretty good.
Hey, we all do it. It's all fun to work out.
Just make sure you don't take a Cialis pre-workout. You're screwed.
So, what is the most funniest advice you have ever gotten from a person who works out, and you'd be like,
like weirdest, like one I don't.
Yeah, one of the advice someone who have given it to you, like an advice, but it's the weirdest or the most ridiculous advice you have ever heard.
Carbs make you fat. Another one is the thought process of calories in, calories out works, but not if you're eating donuts to get 3,000 calories or eating pizza. So people say like they can eat whatever they want as long as they get their calories in. I don't agree. Quality food over shit food in the 3,000 if you're eating shitty food or quality food for 3,000 calories, there's a difference. But there's some people that believe that it doesn't matter, calories are calories. So I guess for energy expenditure, yeah, but in terms of like how you want to look, it's gonna make a difference.
No, I totally get that. Like, I had the same conception when I started working out like a long time ago. I was like, I shouldn't eat so much carb, but then I learned a lot. Then I did a lot of research. And I'm like, this makes a lot of sense. You need carb to build muscles. You need carb to drive in.
For energy.
Yeah, your energy that's how you build muscle pretty much. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes. Okay, some people might get pissed at me saying this. I don't even care because I think it's true. Regardless of the progress they make, there's people who write down every set, every rep, every exercise, whatever they do, and I'm like, man, you're wasting all this time worrying about the number, the sets. The sets make sense, but the number of reps with the weight you're using. Why don't you just go as hard as you can on your working set? Get 7, get 9, get 10, what does it matter? Because the night before, if you had, let's say, less sleep, that's what I say, if you slept like 5 hours and you had 5 meals instead of 6, and you had a lot of stress, whatever's going on, your girlfriend broke up with you or your boyfriend, I don't know what the hell I'm talking the next day, you're not feeling good, right? You're out of it. You go to the gym just because you know you have to go. You're probably not going to hit a PR. You're most likely not going to. Unless you're someone who uses aggression as whatever, but regardless, you get what I'm saying. You're not going to hit a PR. Who cares about what you got? You went as hard as you could, you stimulated the muscle, you hit it hard, you went home. You did your sets you wanted to do, but counting I did 195 pounds for 6 reps today, next week I want to do 195 for 7 reps. What about perfecting your form before getting that set? What about getting a better squeeze? What about like actually just holding the eccentric or going slower on the negative, holding the concentric? Like, I don't know, like focus on those things. Focus on like stimulating the muscle more rather than just lifting more weight. Because I see a lot of these people who just focus on these numbers, and I've got to be honest, their progression in terms of their physique could be better. It could be better. I don't see them progressing like other people who are doing different, who are just going to the gym and going hard.
Yeah, I never logged any of my workouts ever. I just go there, I never lift. I try to lift regularly. I have like a repetition range which I always fix. I just go with that. If I'm gassed out, I try to like rep some drop sets.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, all I look into, am I hitting a hypertrophy? That's all I look into.
Yeah.
Did I work out harder? That's all I look into.
If you're trying to grow, your goal should be hypertrophy. Your goal should be, going as hard as you can for those. If you have 8 sets, you want to do 8 working sets. You have 4 exercises, 2 per set, 2 per exercise. Go hard with those 2 sets. If you got 9 reps, you got 12 reps, you got 15. Really, that difference is very insignificant in the long term. Whereas if you're focusing on just the weight, I know myself, that's when injuries come along. If you're trying to hit a PR every week or maintain your strength, even when your body isn't ready to maintain your strength, that's when injuries come in. And then that's when you're going to get regress and not progress.
So let's say another fun question. if you could pick any celebrity or any fictional character or any historical character to train with you for a day, who would be and why would that person be?
I'd say Mark Wahlberg and The Rock. In the fitness industry, if I had to pick one, maybe Mark Wahlberg, because I feel like The Rock seems a little phony sometimes for certain things. I don't know. He's sometimes a little bit, yeah. Mark Wahlberg. In terms of not in the fitness in the fitness industry, Phil Heath. Oh yeah, sorry, Mike. Yeah, Phil Heath, I'd say. Yeah, I liked his training style. I watched a lot of his workouts like growing up. Phil Heath and Jay Cutler, because they never really went to the failure that some of these logbook guys go to, but they stimulated the muscle enough to grow and recover. And honestly, they got the least amount of injuries it looked like on their physique. Phil Heath.
For me, it would be Frank Zane.
Okay.
If I could work out with the primetime Frank Zane, that'd be the best. Like, he was a big influence for me when I started working out and doing shows. Like, I read a lot about him. I read about how good he was at posing and his posing routine. I still watch his video and I just still study how we do his vacuum and a lot of iconic poses. So that's fun. So what's one thing in the gym which you look at and you saw sometime and you're like, Jesus Christ, you roll your eyes or you just want to you just shake your head by seeing it. What's one thing which actually you saw?
Something I disagree with maybe in the gym? Something I disagree with?
Yeah. It's something that you disagree or something that you saw and you'll be like, Jesus, I can't believe someone is doing that.
Like when I see people who don't look like they should be lifting what they're lifting. Like if I see someone stack a bunch of plates on a squat rack and they're moving this much and their knees are going in and out, I'm like, why are you even trying that? Like you should lower the weight like 1/10 of what you have on there and actually do it properly. They don't know better, but that's one where I get because I'm like, man, it's just an injury waiting to happen. Snap their leg, I don't even know, like it doesn't look good. It makes me almost like cringe. I've seen it a lot lately, a few guys squatting in the gym, South End gym, there's a few of you there, or you're putting on way too much weight on the bar that you shouldn't have on there. So yeah, lifting way too much, where I'm like, that physique, that little person should not be lifting that much weight with that terrible technique. That's a big one. That's another one.
For me, I would say, I see people stacking up all these plates and they would just walk away.
So leaving the weight?
Leaving the weights.
Okay.
That's something which pisses me off. It's just, I see a lot of people who are just starting out in the gym. They can't lift 5 plates. You're leaving 5 plates in a bar and just walking away. It's just really bad. Now the other person now got to restack it back. And a lot of people aren't too strong to restack all 5 plates back.
And it's annoying.
It's annoying.
And
it's work.
Yeah.
And also, you don't know in the gym, you can't do that. But that's something which always I would just always I can't believe someone just did that.
People talk about that a lot, but I've been lucky enough to not really notice it as much. I don't know if, I'm being honest.
Oh, I
had people come up to me today saying, I hate when people leave the weight. I'm like, I haven't noticed anyone leave much or weight. Like if they leave a plate on leg press, whatever, it's a plate. You should take it off, but...
More than plate, I see these people, they would leave a dumbbell somewhere and it's just I'm looking for this dumbbell and I can't find anywhere, or I'm looking for this weight, I can't find anywhere. Okay. And it's somewhere inside or somewhere...
I know your problem. You're using average people's weights. That's maybe why I get That's why we haven't noticed. That's probably why I haven't noticed. Because I'm not using average people's weight now.
No, that makes sense. Oh, yeah.
That's why I don't notice the dumbbells, because I don't use those. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. So, what's the most craziest gym outfit you have ever seen someone wear? Or probably you have worn.
It's probably me. I'll be honest. Now everyone does it, but they wear the white beater, the tank tops, the white or black. I used to do that all the time before. No one really did that. And the loose genie pants, very loose pants, tight top. It was more like an 80s, 90s thing. I like that style. I like the old retro style. Now people are doing it more, the sweaty sweatpants, the big sweatpants and the tank tops. But now, the shorts on skinny guys, I see guys wearing those 5-inch shorts. It just looks a little fifi. I don't know. It doesn't look like what are you doing in the gym? I don't know. It looks like you're wearing boxers. I don't even wear boxers, but it looks like you're wearing boxers. I don't know, loose boxers. It looks kind of weird.
I've seen people lifting wearing jeans.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay, this is a little bit of a jab, But I gotta be honest, when they wear collared shirts, now you just said collared shirts.
Yeah, I have seen that.
Collared shirts and jeans. And I gotta be honest, there's an ethnicity or a culture that does that pretty often. And I'm pointing the finger at you. I know it's maybe controversial. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, and they wear the jeans and the collared shirt. I see that a lot. Older people, I see them doing it too, but I give them a pass because they don't know what they're doing if they're really older. But yes, I see a lot of people wearing
I see that.
the collared shirts and the jeans.
I see like why would you wear the jeans to the gym? Just doesn't make sense.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I was
saying or what? No.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I have seen people do that.
It's like the people who wear shirts and when they go swimming. Like the guys who wear shirts. Like, why are you wearing a shirt when you're going swimming? I don't understand that. It's like, do you not look at like, do you have social cues? Like look around. People are not wearing jeans. They're tight. Like
actually, I have seen that. It also doesn't help you in lifting better. Like you wear any jeans, how are you gonna be able to lift better? It's uncomfortable. You put in a shirt on, how are you gonna be having a good moment? Because like it's kind of like holding you somewhere. You can't like move your arm around. It's just
And you know what's funny? I've actually done the collared shirts though. I used to do that. I had like a 3X when I was like a lot smaller, and it was a collared shirt. I used to wear it with like chef pants. So I wanted that like homeless, bummy, like almost like just I don't care what I look like in the gym. Very loose, but that's probably for my outfit. I just remembered I used to wear that like chef pants, literally chef pants, and a collared black shirt. It didn't match at all, but it just was like I wanted to look like I don't care what I look like in the gym. I want to look good with the clothes off, not with the clothes on. So I used to do that a bit. I wouldn't do it now, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. So if your gym had a mascot representing the spirit of its lifters, what would it be? For example, it can be like a dumbbell with arms, like Pukey, the Pukey, the CrossFit mascot, something. What would you think for a mascot would be for like gym or for bodybuilding?
Depends on the gym. What gym? Because I go to a few gyms.
Let's say you have a gym. It's a gym which you have, or let's say it's for.
Or is it? Am I giving a mascot for a gym that I know?
For a gym, let's say for a gym,
Okay.
Pick a gym and
okay, I'll let people guess this one.
Okay.
What gym this is in Sudbury?
Okay.
For one of them, it's gonna be an angry lawn gnome. That's for one of the gyms. LaSalle. Who thinks he's bigger than he is. For one of them, it'll be a fairy with smelly socks. South End. Yeah, because everyone's a little bit, I just don't think they train hard. I think they're all just there to yap, 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 and some of them stink. So that's why I said the dirty sock. For my gym, what would I want for a mascot? I don't know, a Viking maybe? I don't know, something badass. Yeah.
Something badass.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. What would you say a mascot would be for bodybuilding shows if you have to make a mascot? Like in general?
The Hulk.
Hulk.
Yeah, the Hulk. Or me. No, the Hulk.
No, that makes sense. So what's your most favorite time pose? Like what's your
My
most
favorite pose?
Yeah.
That depends. Are you asking me personally or for somebody else? What's my favorite pose
Let's
to
do
look
both
at?
of them. What's for you?
Okay, because it depends on the physique. I think for my physique, my favorite pose. That's tough. See, if we're talking bodybuilding, I like the side tricep. I like my side tricep because I'm classic. For classic, I would say the archer pose. So it's like a front double, but you go like this. Yeah, that one. Maybe the archer or a back double.
I would say your back double is one of your main.
Yeah, back double or archer.
Like I have seen your back double and it just blew my mind. It's like you have the best. Like I talked about that with you last time, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can see you like how your lats are spreading out, and I've been doing a lot of workouts which you said which I could focus on, and it's been actually like working out pretty good for me.
Good.
So yeah, what would you say a pose would be in general you would like?
My favorite pose to look at?
Yeah.
It depends. I think a front double. A front double says a lot. Because like you see everything pretty much. Other than a back double or front double. I like those poses the most. They're the easiest and you see everything. You see like every single weak point on everybody. From the side you can hide things, right? That's why I said the side tricep for me, because I got a lot of weak points on my body that I know I gotta get better at. But I think a front double. A front double. Front double says a lot.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
For me, it would be like abs and thighs would be
Okay.
one of the poses I would like to look at, because then I can know what are they trying to hide. If they're gonna hit a vacuum, they know okay they don't want to show their core too much. or if they're hitting their core, then you can know like where they're like losing something.
Mm-hmm.
For me, my own personally, I do like front double biceps, and I do also like my side chest. It's something which I always like doing, the side chest. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So that'll be it for today. Is it something which you want to like say to the guys? Any kind of piece of advice you want to give it to someone, or someone who just started lifting?
I said this on a podcast before, but I'm gonna think of something different today for something advice. Get used to eating food that is actually like has a lot of nutritional value. I see a lot of people eating like their protein powders, their like these protein bars, shit like that. Like it's okay, and then go down the line to like actual fast food and junk food. I'd rather eat less but eat quality food than eat more shitty food. You know what I mean? I'd rather like not gain weight as fast, because I know everyone wants to build muscle. I'd rather eat a little less but quality food than eat a lot of shitty food and think I'm gaining more. Yeah, so good food. Quality food.
That makes no sense.
Yeah.
So that'll be it, guys. It was fun having you, Marko. We should hit a session soon again and working out. We'll have Marko again in one of our working out session coming out.
Yeah.
It was fun, and have a good one.
Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Thank you, and we'll have another episode of Shoot and Shit with Jacob.